What's going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast. And on this broadcast, we are going to be bantering about the state of the 2023 Atlanta Braves. Now, before I get into it, there is a corresponding article up on laracuenteledger.com that breaks down each aspect of this franchise that we're about to go over in this video. So make sure you check it out by hitting the link down in the show notes below. Now, looking at the Braves, we begin with their major acquisition. Now, that major acquisition is in the form of Sean Murphy. Now, the Braves already had a very good catcher in Travis d'Arnaud, but they added to those ranks with another great backstop behind the plate. I think that for Atlanta, being able to bring in another Oakland A in its following subsequent years, really going to be a big improvement for the squad. I think that for Atlanta, this is a team that absolutely has the makings to go back to the World Series as we saw them just a couple of seasons ago. And I think that for this team, a leader like Sean Murphy can really help this team grow and progress, helping a lot of those young starters really mature and blossom into the type of pitchers that we expect them to be able to be. So I think that this is a very good move by the Atlanta Braves. Now, when it comes to the significant injuries, Mike Soroka is the player that we're paying attention to. I think that for Atlanta, this has been a pitching factory over the last several years, last several decades, and this is another arm in that mix. I think that for Mike Soroka and the Braves, this is a guy who is going to be a very important piece for their starting rotation. I don't think that the injury is going to hamper his entire 2023 season, but there is going to be a little bit of an adjustment period. And I think that for Atlanta, being able to kind of slowly bring him on and allow him to kind of ride out for the rest of the season is going to be more important than getting him started early on. For Atlanta, Soroka is going to be a very important piece as they're going to be battling some heavy favorites in the National League East and the National League wildcard race. So I think that for Atlanta, being able to slowly work Soroka back into a place of prominence in that rotation is going to be the smart move. Now, when it comes to the top prospect, Jarek Schuster, a left-handed pitcher, is going to be that number one guy. I think that when you look at what Atlanta has been, as I said, this has been a pitching factory over the last few decades. We know the three-headed monster that they had in the 90s with Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, and John Smoltz. I think that there is an opportunity that the Braves could get back to that with some of the arms that they have in this rotation. Schuster is going to be that next guy in line. To me, a very, very young starter that is going to be capable of really being able to dominate in a different way. I think that when you look at what he has with the three different pitch mix that he has, with the fastball, slider, and a very good changeup, this is going to be a guy who has all the makings of what is necessary to be a very good starter in Major League Baseball. And we know Atlanta has been able to produce that, so very high expectations for Jarek Schuster. Now, when it comes to the bold prediction, I believe that Ronald Acuna Jr. is going to be a 40-40 player. 40 home runs and 40 steals. With some of the rule changes that are coming to this 2023 season, there's definitely a possibility for that. We've also seen that Ronald Acuna Jr., when healthy, is one of the most dynamic players in Major League Baseball. And I think that for this upcoming 2023 season, the Braves are going to be in a position where Acuna is really going to be able to allow his talent to flourish and blossom. And I think that with that, with, again, maybe the bigger bags, there's going to be an opportunity, as long as he stays healthy, for him to be a 40-40 player. When it comes to the divisional rankings prediction, we have an article up on laracuenteledger.com and a video here on the Baseball Banter Broadcast in which we said that the Braves would finish in third place. Now, I've gotten a lot of grief over that, but the reason why I say it is that I think that there's going to be a very tight window between the Braves, Phillies, and Mets for the third, second, and first place in this National League East. I don't think that there is much that's separating these three teams. Yes, it could be an absolute coin flip. And I think that if Atlanta had done a little bit more to solidify some of the lost value, I probably would have placed them a little bit higher than third in the division. When it comes to grading out this pitching staff, it is a B plus grade. I think that for Atlanta, as I've said before, this is a pitching first organization, and I think that there's an opportunity that they could really show that off in 2023. The rotation is going to be led by a healthy and stable Charlie Morton. This is going to be a guy who is going to be able to show kind of that winning pedigree. We also have many of the same pitchers from that 2021 World Series winning team right back in this rotation. And I think that for Atlanta, there's going to be a lot to pressure that is on these starting pitchers as well as the bullpen. And there's going to be an opportunity for them to really solidify and show just how talented they can be. So very good pitching staff for Atlanta. Now, when we grade out the offense, likewise, it is a B plus grade. And I do think that there's an above average offense for the Atlanta Braves as well. And I think that there is going to be an opportunity for them to really show off, go off on a tangent, and really push this division to the best of its ability. Now, the one place that there is going to be a bit of a weakness, in my opinion, and it's more of an unknown than necessarily a weakness, and that is going to be with Vaughn Grissom replacing Dansby Swanson at shortstop. You knew what you were going to be getting year after year with a guy like Dansby Swanson. Grissom is going to be an unknown at this point. Can he blossom and turn into another version of Dansby Swanson? Absolutely. The Braves have shown that they have that ability to allow their players to walk because they already know what they have coming in next. Now, that being said, it is an unknown. So with that, you don't necessarily know if Grissom is going to be able to fill those shoes. This was the best career year that Dansby Swanson has had for the Atlanta Braves, and there's going to be a little bit of a void, a bit of a gap, and a bit of a learning curve for Grissom, in my opinion. But we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. But overall, for the offense for Atlanta, it's going to be a B plus grade. Now, when we grade out the offseason, I'm giving it a B grade. Now, that is said because they built up a ton of depth in their pitching staff. I think that there is a very big hole that they did not fill in with the loss of Dansby Swanson. Again, Vaughn Grissom could be a guy that comes in and completely wipes that thought process out, completely makes Atlanta Braves fans forget about Dansby Swanson. But in my opinion, Atlanta needed to do more to solidify that spot and that vacancy, the lost value offensively with Swanson's departure. So I think that for Atlanta, they could have had a better offseason if they added a little bit more in terms of at least depth and something of an insurance policy if Vaughn Grissom can't handle shortstop for the Atlanta Braves. Now, when it comes to grading out this franchise, is an A overall. I think that there's a lot to really love if you're a fan of the Atlanta Braves. There's going to be an opportunity for the starting rotation to go down as one of the best in baseball. You have a bullpen that has been revitalized, revamped, and really going to be able to go into games and lock things down. You also have an offense that is going to be really filtered with a ton of positive plus offensive value. There's going to be questions. Again, Vaughn Grissom to me is the biggest question mark for this Atlanta Braves squad. But I think that there is an opportunity that, as we've seen Atlanta do over the last several years, they know what they have in-house. They know what they're going to be able to receive and achieve with this player. So there's no doubt that Atlanta has the makings of a team that can get back to the World Series, and there's going to be a very tough battle for the top of that National League East and those subsequent wild card spots. So I think that for the Braves, this is an A overall franchise. They have arguably, in my opinion, the best front office president of baseball operations, GM, whatever you want to call it, in Alex Anthopoulos. There's been a ton of amazing deals that this team has put together to be able to lock up their core for a very long time without spending, in my opinion, market value for those players. So very smart investments, very smart moves by this Atlanta Braves squad, and they're going to be a tremendous team for a very, very long time. Braves fans, I want to hear from you. Let me know down in the comments how are you feeling about your chances in 2023. This is a team, like I said, that I do believe can head back to the World Series. So let me know your thoughts, your feelings on it down in the comment section below, or find me over on Twitter at banter_baseball, where we can keep the conversation rolling. If you want to show more support, you can follow our other social media outlets on Instagram and TikTok and Baseball Banter Broadcast. You can also follow us on laracuenteledger.com, our website where we cover the world of Major League Baseball as well as other topics. And if you want to show more support even beyond that, head over to baseballbanterbroadcast.com. It is our merchandise shop, and there's a ton of promo codes running on the top banner of the site that you can use to save on some banter merch. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the bell for post notifications here on this YouTube channel, as it does help us tremendously grow this channel and this fan base as we continue to try to build up this as the #1 spot for your baseball news in 2023 and beyond. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast listening platform, I thank you. Leave a 5-star rating and review, as it does help us move up the algorithm to be able to bring more content to you. Thank you once again, and I will catch you guys in the next broadcast when we banter about the world of baseball. Peace.